striving to make a lasting positive difference in every community we touch. And then how we're going to execute that is through our mission statement. Our mission to fulfill our mission of covering the nation, we're dedicated to recruiting individuals who align with our core values. We will rigorously train our team, consistently advancing in technology and maintain an unwavering commitment to refining our processes and systems. This relentless pursuit of excellence ensures our ability to provide top-notch roofing systems and service to our nation. And then for our values. Um, we know, this is the driving force of what creates unity, and if we're not unified in these things, then we're gonna delay the destination, the arrival to our destination. If we're gonna build $100 million roofing company, then we're gonna need to be united in our values. So, Nick, you want to go ahead first and share one of these values? It doesn't have to be, it can be anything, insight, perspective, story, kind of like what I shared about grit. So go ahead.
Oh yeah. So going back to grit, a story of mine at Defender Security, which I told you guys was authorized dealer for ADT Security, which I worked for. I started there at 20 years old. I'm 29 now. By the age of 22, they put me into a leadership role where I got to lead guys that were twice my age. I was the youngest manager at Defender Security. Um, and during that time, it was very difficult to earn the guys' respect. Just going in the meetings, running the meetings, I could tell I just didn't have the respect. So what I had to do, and also, by the way, this was in Washington, D.C., where I ran Northern Virginia, Potomac, Maryland, and Southeast D.C. And it was bottom five in the entire company. So it was a big challenge. Guys were separated. There really wasn't a team atmosphere. The culture was just not there. Coming from Boston, Massachusetts, I had a great leader over there who taught me a lot of great leadership skills and ran a great team. They were top 10 in the entire company. So as I was over there, I was thinking, how can I earn these guys' respect? So what I did was I went out into the field and I became number one in that branch. I outsold all the guys that were in there. So that way they could understand that I knew how to do the job. And then I made it a priority to go out into the field, even though I was a manager, even though I'm trying to learn the CRM, I'm trying to understand the systems. I still made it a priority to go out into the field and help those guys. Guys that were struggling, I went out into the field, helped them to just gave them different advice and help them to increase their metrics and KPIs. So within that year, the first year, I ended up taking that branch from bottom five, rebuilding the culture. I had to get rid of some guys. And then I also had to bring some guys that aligned with the culture that I wanted to have set for that branch. And so I ended up taking that branch into top 20% in the entire company within my first year. And so during that time, it was a lot of adversity. I had to really be disciplined in the fact that I had to learn management. I was nervous, going in being 22 years old. I read some books, but I didn't feel, I had self doubt. I didn't feel like, I thought, man, maybe this is a little bit too early. But my leadership thought it was the right thing, and I got in there. And I ended up being able to take that branch into the top 20%.
Some serious grit, because that's a lot of adversity. And when you experience all those different levels of adversity and you push through every single one, that's the true definition of grit.
And then I got one more thing too. I was reading this morning. I want to share. It says, "Count in all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you, that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." So for that, it means to me, and this is a verse in the Bible, James chapter 1, verse 2 through 4. For that, to me, it means, we may face a lot of things. This may be new to some of you guys. or you may have a lot of experience, and you may have a lot of self doubt. You may have a lot of thoughts going through your head, trying to discourage you. But what it means to me is have tunnel vision, focus on the outcome, understand who you are and the capabilities that you have within, stay steadfast, and continue to not allow those self doubts to intertwine with your thoughts, and focus on who you are as an individual and strengths that you possess inside to be able to get through, the different negative thoughts that you may have inside of your head, because we all have it inside. Even talking right now, just coming in the morning, usually in the morning, I'm a little bit slow. Just I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning, but just getting my mind and everything going. I had a lot of doubts, like coming in here and just speaking in front of everybody, but just having that consistent perseverance to stay positive, continue to feed your mind. You're constantly, even when you don't think about it, you're talking to yourself inside of your mind, and those thoughts can dictate a lot of the outcome that you produce out here in the physical realm. So, just something to think about. That verse really stuck with me this morning when I was reading, and I
I
just
think
want
it
to share that.
identifies with Rick too. Perseverance and steadfastness is aspects of grit. Eugene, you want to share?
Yeah. So
Hey,
this
what's that voice?
this story actually is something I was talking to Michael about this morning. And this would actually kind of hit on grit, loyalty, and the interview process. So as everybody knows, I'm in the asphalt industry as well. In Missouri, it's a very short window. You have to get a lot done. So I mean, you've got 6 months seasonal, but in that 6 months, really, you've only got about 3 months that you can work given the weather. So we were doing a job in Hollowville, um, huge job doing walking paths. Well, we had pulled an 18-hour day out there seeing. I got home. I've been home for 2 hours. We're all dead. Me and all my guys are all dead. I saw the weather was changing, and we had to get this job done. I called all my guys, and I told them, I said, "Look, guys, I know we just pulled it a long day. I know we've only been home for 2 hours. We got to go back out there." And we ended up pulling another 18 hours. We worked 36 hours almost straight. So the loyalty that I've instilled in my guys, they gave back. And, they stayed loyal. I mean, none of them is like I took care of all of them for coming in. 18-hour day. It's hard to see the process when when you're out there for the first 18 hours. To come back for another 18 hours working outside, tired through the night. I don't know if anybody knows anything about seal. It stinks. It burns your skin. It hurts your eyes. It's hard to handle it. It's hard to deal with it. And to be out there in the conditions that we were in for as long as we were in, I mean, it was a challenge I wasn't sure I was even capable of doing. And to see that the loyalty my guys gave me, it was incredible. And I'd like to say that I helped instill that in them by being loyal to them as well. And everybody committed to the process. We all finished it. We got the job done, and we took a couple days off after that, but I got right back to it. Nobody complained. Everybody was actually we were all pretty excited about it. It was actually a pretty cool experience to have been out there together for that long, going to do that volume together. And it really brought us all together. It made us all the tighter unit. It showed us what we're capable of. And it showed us that we're in it. We're in it for the fight. We're going to do a good job. And by doing all of that work in that amount of time, we didn't step away from our quality of work. We didn't cut corners. I guess that would hit on meaningful work as well. We didn't cut corners. We didn't try to get it done faster than we were capable of getting it done. We did. I would almost say we probably did better than most of our jobs, just because we were all so tired. We were also out of it. The only thing that kept us going was the finish line. Seeing the process. You don't want to put that kind of work into something and it look bad. You don't want to be out there for 36 hours and show me like, damn, I just spent 36 hours on this job and it looks terrible. You wanted to show me like, God, I did that. We did that.
Yeah.
It was an incredible experience.
Well, thanks for sharing the story. Then you make those type deposits consistently in your life. That's what really develops character. That's why character is easy to see, especially when things get tough. Because if you haven't made those deposits, it's very difficult to go through those circumstances. Or having the grit, the pound 200 doors and not get one job. And then, and that next day you get four, just because you just kept kicking the ball stuff to say, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. And, those are the two things I wanted to share. You guys learned a lot yesterday about growth links. And I think after dealing with so many salesmen in my entire life, and there's a consistent mentality of sales guys. We're always busy, we're all over the place a little bit. Yeah, we're thinking about the next opportunity, things like that. But we actually were talking about a book this morning. It's actually I share this with all my sales team from this book, and it talks about it's from Jocko. What's the last name? Neiman?
Jocko Lily.
Yeah, Willie. Yeah, it's called Extreme Ownership, and he's the most decorated Navy SEAL. And he goes through and he gives this amazing story about debriefing. It talks about the success of people, and people don't realize, they think, hey, we just went to combat for 12 hours. We lost one or two of our guys. You're sweating, you're hurt, you've got blisters. You have to prepare your gear for tomorrow. Okay, all the leaders have to go in front of the rest of the team and do a debriefing. The rest of the military, whoever they're working with, but there's Army support, Marine support, and they have to sit there for 2 hours talking about locations, what happened, where the gunfire came from, all these things. It's like 2 hours after 12 hours of war. He goes, and how difficult that is, but the commitment and of that is what allows them to consistently be successful. So I know, talking to administration all the time and kind of being that little gap and kind of, watching an overview, what we see happening all the time is the sales guys don't have that discipline where they're waking up, from 5:30 or even 6 to 7:30, and they're getting all their notes. They're responding to the CRM. They're putting all this information to allow everybody else to do their job within our system. Because each person has a process. As soon as you do any kind of communication on that platform, it empowers someone else to do something else. And if you don't do that and you're not committed to that, it just slows the whole process down. And then it ties our time up, then it ties management to pursue you guys. But that's a nightmare. That's constantly one of the biggest challenges of managing a sales team. And so if you guys, take these values and implement really care, then you guys are going to really take that time to all the data is going to go into that Rolodex. You're going to have to say, be disciplined, focus on, hour in the evening, hour in the morning, respond to all your emails, get your data into, upload the photos. It's terrible. But once you in that routine, it becomes consistent. But there hasn't been a good sales team that we're not chasing after all the time. But I'm hoping that's not the case because we're really trying to, why do you think the SEALs, do you think with the proper accounting, do you think SEALs could just go home and go back there and tend to sleep and not go to a debriefing? No, they get just railed. Then, hopefully we can have that level of accountability here. So, things you guys learn, spend your own time trying to go through the tutorials, become experts of that platform. Because within that system, like I said, it functions the whole, and it's that. Anything you want to share about the recap yesterday?
No, that was pretty good.
Good. As we move forward, the second thing I was going to share is, we talked a lot about grit and stuff. So, you got to think we're 1 year into the storm. It's a completely different atmosphere. And I'll give you an example. A lot of these other businesses are everybody I've talked to. We're slowing down. We're drying up. And the truth is, we're gearing up because we know how to win in this environment. And it's not getting leads and calls and things like that. People aren't responding to social media. It's pounding door after door after door after door. And the success we produce by picking up the scraps you call the first one we worked in our who came in a year late. That's what we did. And if you think from a harvest standpoint, you have all these trees that are dropping, ripe fruit and low lying fruit. Everybody picked that crap up. That was gone. It was quicker than I expected it to be. They did, everybody and the mom came here to build a roof. And they did, they're gone. But you guys wouldn't imagine how many roofs are left. and thinking about the high level fruit that's not fully ripe, the effort it takes to climb the tree, cut it out, do all these things. Those things you're going to do. You're going to there's going to be so many objections that you guys are going to have to overcome, but there's a lot of work out there. And if you're willing to have the grit to do that, there's a huge harvest within this platform now. But you guys have to go into it knowing that, and that's why we're preparing you for that type of battle.
Yeah. Everyone thinks when it comes to these storms, they treat it like a battle, not a war. Everyone knows it's a war. That's like the beginning of the storm. That's why what was our main focus when the hurricane first hit? Resources, materials, gas, water. The basics is what we started with. And we knew that if we could just outlast some of these other contractors, if we could just get a little bit further than them by having a little bit more gasoline, all the gas stations are closed, there's no electricity, for those who are here, you know what I'm talking about. You just said, all right, what do we need to have? And so this going into this next phase of this war out here is just understanding now what we need. What's the equipment? What's the tools? What's the strategy? So we're right on track like usual.
So Brian's here, came all the way down from Northern Florida to empower you guys, give you guys as much information. He's been around, he's worked multiple aspects of the roofing industry. He understands the contractor side, he understands the install side, he understands the sales side. He's real versed in materials and manufacturing. So he's and just sales and basics. So I'm sure he'll send you, share a bunch of general knowledge and then specific metal knowledge to empower you guys. That's our winning recipe here. It's metal. Because shingles, it's not going to outlast the next storm. And tile, they're not, if they want to wait 2 years to get their road built and billboard, so it's going to be a good insight. I'm excited to learn as well. So pay attention, take notes, and we'll go over there.
So just during that meet the team with our slide about Brian, just so you guys understand. At the end of the day, everything that we're doing out there in the field, right? When we make a mistake, so we make a mistake on the roof, we promise the customer the right thing. When you talk about ownership, right? If we don't own up to a mistake and it doesn't pass inspection, something goes wrong with that stuff. You get a homeowner who's upset. You get the DBP R who's upset. It falls back onto his shoulders because he's our license holder. He's the one who took the time and the energy years ago to get his license, and he's been gracious enough to allow us to work under that license. So at the end of the day, when it comes to taking ownership, if something is missed, it'll be found, and when it is found, there's one having to dig up these bones.
Yeah, we had one case, so it doesn't happen.
I know some of you guys here saw metal roofing. Some of you up north probably haven't. I know some of you have. I'm originally from Michigan, so hey, and I dealt with a lot of metal roofing up there because of snow, and it's metal roofing is literally the best thing you can put onto a house. Cold weather environments like snow. To you guys from Columbus, and we're either hot, cold. It's the worst thing for a roof. It won't last. Down here, you get heat and hurricanes. A standing seam metal roof is the only thing that will literally withstand a hurricane. And that's why, we really want to focus and put a lot of it into the metal roofing, because one of the things that we always tell people, especially in a storm environment where they might have a shingle roof, insurance is paying up X amount of dollars. Well, you know what? You could do a little bit of an investment right now and still last through your pension. Because if you put standing seam roof on, hurricane does happen. Right? You're paying for it, insurance paying for it. Paying for what's on the roof. So it's the best time for somebody to upgrade. Is basically what it is when you have a strong environment like this. one of the things that I've been talking about with these guys and Michael and Matt, we're going to go to a good, better, best system from my belief. And up here on the screen, it's the 1-inch snap lock, but it's a flange system. So you can see over on the left side there, there's a little nail line. It's the brown one,
A black one.
Are you guys familiar with vinyl siding?
Yeah.
Nail hole. Same thing. Literally the same exact thing. It's got a flange of we put screws that goes onto the roof that way. It's the logo. That's your good system. It doesn't have the wind warranty that a clip system will have. And just the way it goes together, like a vinyl siding, you can walk up to a vinyl siding house and just pull it apart. I can do the same with that. But when you're in a price competitive market like we're dealing with here, there's a lot of guys out there putting this up. One of the things that does make us different from other roofing companies around here, we are actually manufacturing these things. We've got somebody that actually has the machine that is making the panels for us and the churn. I'm from up north. I live up in Destin. We've got our own machine and our own CNC breaking and everything. That's what we do up there all the time. I mean, our guys are working at 13 college programs out there right now. And so we have an advantage that we're buying the material directly from manufacturing. So unlike, another roofing company that's going to ABC Supply or the Reach or something, there's a middleman. We don't have that. So our quality controls everything better. So we're going to be able to put better product because we're controlling it. Controls of the core is what we get. It goes out to a machine and it makes these panels. We make it right at your job, at the job site. So your homeowner literally could see these panels coming out of machine and seeing, wow, this is, they're making this custom for my house. And that's one of the biggest things that I've always told people. Standing sitting on the roof, when we do it, this is a true custom roof. We're not ordering something, it's coming out a few different sizes and we're cutting a whole bunch. One, you're wasting a lot of material, so the price is going up when you do that. But they're making these panels to your house. This is specific. Each one of these panels that come out. All of you guys have seen which program you guys use. Most of you now.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what are you using?
We're using GPU for your Yeah. So when you see that report and you see the drawing, that's what our guys use to make the panels. So they get that, they go on the roof, and they're gonna pull measurements, come back and custom make the panels for them. So in the selling standpoint, that's another great thing to really emphasize that with the whole thing. We're custom making your roof. I guarantee none of these other companies are doing that. This is a custom roof. It is.
So two keywords: custom, manufacturing. No one else is doing this.
No, we don't have them there. No, we have center coming out front. That's loaded with coil and all the accessories, everything for jobs. And we take that and we make for that. So that's a big thing in selling this. This is a custom product. And we want, you guys have to emphasize that because it truly is. When I first started, doing our own metal roofing and that, I had so many homeowners, they'll just come out and they're like in awe. They're looking at this machine and they're like seeing the panels. They're seeing their product, their, the roofing product being made right from. and they're just like, they're amazed by it. You guys have a bit of, I have a couple small videos. Well, I mean, not in right now, but that'd be something for them.
Yeah.
And roller.
Yeah,
That watch machine, yeah, I've got a big. I have a big like kid drawing. Yeah, because I think one of the big things is getting with them is putting that video on your phone or on your iPad to show homeowners. Because, pictures with 1,000 words. Right. So them knowing it's like, this, we're not going to be the cheapest. Don't ever want to be the cheapest. You don't want to be, Pete the pickup. We're giving you a quality product that's being stood behind. We use Sheffield nuts. That is the manufacturer. They're actually the second largest metal manufacturer in the United States. They supply the Caribbean, Bahama. I was actually talking to technical rep on Monday. He was in the Caribbean. It was a bogus thing with coil and the machine and everything on it. He had to go down there. But they have, there's a few other large manufacturers. They're the only ones that put metal arm down there because it will withstand hurt. So that's what, we've got a great company behind us. I've gone through all the certifications with it and stuff like that. That's how we're able to do all this. But again, it's customer. No matter even we put this good panel on, it's still a customer. All you guys should remember is SheffieldMetals.com. This is the website that I'm on right now, right here. This next thing right here, I suggest every one of you click this and print it and have it with. This actually is the little breakdown showing this panel and all of its specs and everything on it. This is the 1 inch, and again, we're using this as our good. How many of you are familiar or understand what galvanum is? Galvanum is actually steel. It's coated steel. Milfin, which is the panel up on the wall there, where the pipe's sticking out and like that trim metal. That is actually a milk finish raw panel that has a clear coating. That's your least expensive. That's like down there on the bottom. Yeah. For you guys that are from up north, it's going to be easier for you guys to understand this, but it's not rust out there. We get snow and ice and they salt the roads. And car turns nasty. You don't wash it all the time. You start house. We are in a salt environment. It's worse down here than dealing with up north because it's all year round. That was just no two-way spot. Me personally, that was it was unemployed. It's not one of us. The manufacturers know this. So when it's a good price point, especially if someone's got shingles to a mill finish roof. It's a big step up from a shingle, but a huge step up. But if they're anywhere within a mile or so of water, make sure they understand it's going to rust. And they're not going to get its long warranty.
There's a lot of people here that don't care. They're old, they're saying, I'm going to be here in 25 years. What do I care if that was rust out? I just don't want to have to place my roof again in my life.
That's what I've got one city up there that this is, and they're on the beach. That's all of that. They like it a lot. They want that, and it's like, okay, we're going to replace your roof every 10 years. And I mean, it's got
So when you guys go to sell, know your clients. Don't sell yourself out of the good. Because to say you pitch yourself like, if I had a mouth, I would put galvanum on. Then you just sold yourself out because then you're the only option they have. What aluminum, standing seam, and then it's gonna be it's the most expensive roofing system that you're gonna offer in this system. So you really have to play that out. But if you have someone really interested and they're communicating like, hey, we're a young family, we bought this house, we want it to last forever, and you're like, hey, we have a perfect product for you. So you have to be very careful. But it's important to know that, for the life duration of Galileo, it's not going to last forever,
and that's how your good West systems basically work. One thing we're not going to put on a credit problem. I mean, for me living here, yes, I would put that on. But honestly, if you guys, once you get to know metal and see metal, there's more of this panel been put on since this song started than any other panel down here.
1 inch. Yeah. What's the win rating on the 1 inch? We're talking about the one that's like one side.
It's 130.
130.
Basically the same as your GAF. Same warranty. Now, when we get into our BAS, it's 107. That is, I do a lot of tall condos. We're going to be starting a 20-story condo buildings up there in February. And the only thing that you like, even you go onto the beach and stuff right now, those tall condo buildings are all aluminum stands.
It was a one rating on the album.
130.
Yeah.
For the 1 inch, right?
Yeah, it's the same as our GAF channels. It's basically the same way to walk.
So your pitch is, hey, it's the durability is because of the metal, and it's not going to get all that heat exposure. That's your biggest benefit because you're not getting better wind rating.
No, it's gonna outlast the shit because a standing seam roof, one of your biggest differences for you guys that haven't sold and done a lot or any metal.
The important thing too is that the win ratings equal to a shingle roof, the insurance company is going to cover a standing seam roof for twice as long. They're only going to cover for 10 to 15 years. On metal roofs, they come up for 25.
On that metal roof, one of the big things with a standing seam, and this is going from a mill finish galvanum 1 inch up to your 1.5 inch aluminum. They're all printed together. One, you don't have any exposed fasteners. There's a lot of roofs that are put out down here. We put the 5V metal roof. The one on the left up there, the white one, you see all those screws that go in there. It's an exposed fastener roof. And so you have a whole bunch of washers and everything. Expansion and contraction. We get it. It gets today was a little bit colder, so it contracted. And then it's going to get 80 degrees out. It's going to expand those screws.
Oh, yeah.
The expansion, I always understood with putting the expansion on these roofs, but I didn't understand it until I was in attic space. You were with me, and it was hot. It was a cool morning, and it was a hot day. We're up here in this attic space. So I'm here. Just hear this creaking, and everything up on the roof is moving and stretching. And you're just like, that's what that sounds like?
Like an oak tree
You can
groaning.
hear it. You can hear the expansion that's actually happening on the roof. So when you understand the fastener system and the clips and why those are there to allow things to move, so real
How
good.
many siding, vinyl siding houses have you ever gone by and looked at and said, as much as we all love to be perfect and put a nail in sidings, also have a gap. So it can boom. Doesn't always work out. And you don't get it in the middle. the slot there. That panel moves, hits a nail, buckles. And that's from an expansion in your trench. So you also look at metal roofs, especially an exposed fastener. Because that thing's screwed down tight. It can't move like it should. And they need to.
You guys see the metal exposed fastener right there, top left.
No matter how long I got the screws down here, then you got screws going up. That's why going to a standing seat system is the best because we don't have any of this maintenance now. Nobody ever talks about it. Nobody ever wants to do it. But exposed fastener roofs, you can see make that simplified.
You know, and when if you got someone you're trying to sell the best system and you're getting to that place, you know, just help them understand in that expansion and contraction, you know, one of the, you know, there's thousands of intrusions in their metal, right? We go back and we put a large screw in there, these screw braces, which are pretty expensive and tedious labor. So we charge a lot for that, and we do it a lot. And so that's a big and important maintenance thing that they'll have to deal with, and it does produce a lot of leaks at some point.
You've got thousands of potential leaks in that room.
Wow. And so if you're trying to sell the best, you know, you get that's a good sale point. And they're like, what's the best? And this is why it's the best. You know, you go to standing scene, no fasteners, all pretty, nothing exposed. Got enough play for expansion and retraction. You know, use those notes and then, you know, get those things planted in your database so you can communicate these things.
One of the biggest things I can suggest, it doesn't matter if it's a metal roof, a shingle roof, deck, however, is getting this knowledge, printing stuff off, reading it, know the products. That's the biggest thing to me is knowing your product. Doesn't matter what you're saying. I told somebody who's so certified and train people to do it. It's knowing the product. You talk about warranties, talk about different things. And I would sit at a table and literally warranty facing the home. And I got I didn't even look at it. And I didn't still do everything. Because I studied those warranties, I memorized them. I know the product. And when you're in an environment where people are getting multiple estimates, you've got to set yourself apart from these other guys. So too many times a guy comes and gives, you know, somebody a price on that 1-inch nail thin head. And they're like, oh yeah, we can put a standing seam metal roof on 4-inch, great, you know, it's what the stands here, King's blah, blah, blah. Here's your price. I'm claiming it. Doesn't give them other options or anything. It's all about the price. We want to give the customer the best product for their home. What they can afford to do. A lot of people might only afford that penny, which is fine. And honestly, I think it's way better than shingle roof. Way better. Shingle roof overlapped, you've got all of these edges that can come loose when you get underneath and stuff like that. Everybody has seen black streaking on a shingle roof. And people call it a hole on that roof. There you go. What does mold mean? Mold means darkness and means function. And that's on the sun part of the roof. That's actually the asphalt bleed. Granules on shingle, ground up grain. Number one reason they're on a shingle is to deflect the UV rays. Shingle's made 60% asphalt. If you look at every shingle manufacturer's warranty, there's an out. And it's inadequate adaptation. Sun doesn't hurt shame. The hot air from your attic will literally blister a shingle. Like you get a blister on your thing. Cools down, rain washes it right off. Those granules, when those come off that shingle, that's like me going outside without sunscreen on. And that's what happens. And so then, as it gets really hot, 100 degrees, that asphalt literally starts leaching. That's the black streak. Without the granules on there, look, it's no ice. It's not gonna look. It's gonna crack and everything else. So when you go to a metal roof, now people have to deal with that. Ventilation is still very, very important. There's a couple counties here. It's required. We have to do it. Well, I don't deal with it as much up there, but I would still validate this roof because it's going to help them with their air conditioning. It's going to help with their utilities. We don't have the deterioration aspect like a shingle because it's smooth, painted, and it sticks to it. Even if the attic's 150 degrees, it's not going to hurt that. So it's a much better product going to a standing seam roof. The 1-inch roof is a great price point for a lot of areas. Like I said, that panel's been put on more now here after the storm than any other panel that's been put on. We are now, we've been able to offer it. We've had to buy it from someone. I have the rollers for this, which are coming down here. So you guys, we're going to be able to make this pay. So again, we're going to have even a better price point for you guys instead of for them going. All of these things up here, we are going to make. So every one of these people's roofs are going to be custom. Every metal panel we put out is a custom roof. So always remember, with this panel here again, this sheet, print it off. It's the best little thing because it's got all of your data on it. Standing seam snap lock. Panel width 16 inches. So we get a roll of coils 20 inches wide. It comes through the machine and it comes out 16 inches wide. Finished panel. One of the other big things with metal roofs that a lot of people mess up on, and you'll see it where it's on the very low pitch. Right on this sheet, it tells you minimum slope free fall. You want to make sure we can get on a commercial building, I can get, an exception on residential at all. But you want to be able to have that sort of shelter. That's the big thing with that. Because again, you see a roof torn out to the sheeting and stuff like that. It's not perfect. Wood warps and stuff like that. So we want to make sure there's enough that it all sheds out. When that panel goes on, there's drip edge right above or right below the shingle. That piece of drip edge on the wall. That drip needs not that goes all the way around. You have a drip edge on a shingle roof. You have it on a metal roof. It's on every single solitary roof that you're going to do. The biggest difference in this drip edge is this lip that sticks out right here, sticks out farther on the roof. So that panel that's on is actually hand bended again. A custom roof or hand bending these things in the field. It's rolling around here and then it's cranked. That whole metal roof for that homeowner turns into one giant piece. That's why it understands mince better and everything like that. So all along, you got all these fans, it's all here lies. Up at the top of the roof, where it comes into a ridge. There's another piece we make, it's called C now. The ridge locks into that and is riveted in. So this whole thing turns into a big jigsaw puzzle, turns into one. It's all interlocked together. Don't have a bunch of screws anywhere that you gotta worry about coming out, leaking, or anything like that. So, and they're all done the same way. That's the nice thing with a standing seam roof. From the 1-inch depth going all the way to an aluminum sand seam. It's literally the songs that everything's the same. Different size pieces. But they're both stalls. And you're like, so that's where, you think you're good, the 1-inch, it's still way better than any shingle you're out there. Or a different shingle. Because again, this is interlocked together, all custom made. which is right here. This is our actual ridge track. This is a piece of seat metal that goes in between each panel, and your ridge will sit like this. You see this or not? The ridge locks in, and there's a rivet every 16 inches. It's a stainless steel rivet, so you can't get it on bags. But it all locks together. The whole system locks together. This is what helps you out of space for me.
So you gotta understand all three systems all do the same thing. They become one unit. Some use fasteners, some use locking systems. Right?
Well, it's what we basically do is like that, another app that has the flange on it. A screw goes in it on the, and again, it's goes through the little slot, but it ought to be perfect. It helps be perfect. And so it's going to go in there. And the only thing that's basically different between your good, better, best is that one just has a nail flint that doesn't use a clip. The clips are stronger. So that's where we're starting out with our 1-inch nail flint system, all interlocking together, 130 mile an hour wave warranty.
Clip here, what he's talking about.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you that's the next one.
Snap.
We're going to go to the roof that we've put on the most here is 1.5 inches snap lock.
Just goes down here.
And again, I don't know stuff. Learn this, memorize this stuff, make it
Something like you can
homework as a question, because I guarantee that's one of the biggest things in our industry. Having done this 25 years, there's so many of these guys out here don't know their lives. They really don't have problems now. And I don't do shingles much or anything anymore, but guarantee I know the GAF warranty better than most of the GAF. Some of the GAFs. Because I literally never underwrite anything. And, their whole system, so that somebody has, it's, and just like, saying, learning your stuff and knowing your trade, knowing your craft better than the other guys. That's going to set you apart. The fact that we're putting on quality custom products, it's not, hey, you gotta, wait for, this manufacturer. And we're manufacturing it ourselves. So it's custom for your warehouse. This 1.5 inch standing seam snap lock. This is the most common thing. So you see those clips up on the wall. And what that goes on that panel, you can slide that clip back and forth. It slides up and down on that rib there. The advantage to that, and why it has a higher wind warranty, is 2 screws go in each one of those clips. So we have more screws going in it. And because of how the clip is sitting on top of that rib, it pulls down out. So it can lift. Where your flange that's on there, that's on the lowest one. And so it can lift. That's why it doesn't have as high of a wind warranty out compared to a clip system.
Clip system, what, 70?
It's like a tie down system. What angle of it locking it down. It's pulling it down to a high down on it.
Yeah.
If you were to mount a dirt bike in the back of the truck and you want to have it screwed into the ground or strapped in.
So if you were to hold this
Anchoring
right down here on the bottom, like the damn thing,
That's
this will never
the way
lift up
that goes on.
on the easier.
That's where you dig
We're
off.
pulling down on the top of the panel went up to so this is where your next step up. So now we went from the good system, much better than the good system on the market. We went to a good, we went to a nail frame system. It's got a great price point. The big difference is this is stainless clip here. We use a galvanum, which all metal is galvanum. You've got a mill finish, and then you have the painted finish. That's where the color charts that we have, it shows, and there's all patch ratio from and stuff like that. But when we go to this system, when we go to a clip system, now you went to the next step up, and we have much higher wind warranty too. And this, it's the best thing you can go for any type of breathing. So again, we have steel. This is actually a little bit, but you have your steel, you have a mill finish, and then you go to the color spray. It's not going to affect the quality, performance, none of that stuff. It's going to make a bit of difference on it when you close that. Again, steel. When you guys read through it again, on the website's great. They have all the warranty samples that you can show homeowners and everything. It said within 1,500 feet to post a warranty, but when you read farther down, it's actually any area that gets seed spray. Seed spray literally will go over a mile in. So that's why what they do is they look up and they've got different charts and graphs when we get the warranties back from them. But if you're within a half to 3/4 of a mile, odds are it's going to have a coastal paint warranty, which is 25 years and not 40 years.
It's extremely
That's going to get stitched back. And so that's a big thing. We had an issue that previous salesperson. And you just have to inform the homeowners that it's like, hey, if they leave their car outside, I love using analogies and different things when people sorry can relate to stuff. That, you leave your car outside, get white residue on it. That's diesel. That's the spray. Where I live, I'm walking 2 miles from the beach there. I am. And if I don't have my truck inside, it will have spray. And I'm 1.2 miles from there. So that's where wind picks it up, rain has it in it. You're gonna get salt. Just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But they've got graphs and they figure out that so far everything that I've been able to see is purely at least a half to 3/4 of a mile. It's going to be coastal warranty. So it's 15 years left. So remember that, because this is another one that Tonto come on you and their guys don't know this. And they're like, oh, it's 40-year paint warranty, 40-year time. Pine Tar is the most popular paint, which is actually Sean Williams. They're the ones that did it. That's the great thing with this. Literally, the raw coil comes from a mill, goes to the paint, and Sean Williams paint. They have over a dozen certified locations. And it gets painted, and then it comes to us. And they're the ones that dictate this. And they're like, so these other guys, oh no, ours has a 40-year paint. And you can look out their back window and you can see the beach. They do not have 40-year paint. No manufacturer will warranty that. And that's, again, knowing your product and knowing this.
So a lot of sales guys you see trying to take advantage of the galvanum, high number paint, and then say because of the paint your metal protected, but it's really not. There's going to be some type of exposure somewhere, and then so they're selling them something that's really not true, which you could overcome and share that insight. Like, there is no laundry for anybody around here unless you have a little.
And it's shingles are like all of it. You know what your competitors are selling to. It's a big thing. I don't use them. I use it against what they say. What they sell, I'll use it against all the time. Because so they can sit down there with that homeowner and know, well, this other person, that they got a 40-year warranty. Here it is. Well, can I see a warranty? Well, pull up on your site. What brings is it? Like if it's Drexel, Black, Peters, those are the big ones. Pull up their warranties. All have sea spray, every single one. Just like every single shingle man has it about it. So number one reason that a warranty gets long. Every single warranty, no matter what it is, your refrigerator, your car, whatever it is, it gets manufacturer's defects. That's what warranties are. There are no true unlimited, they're all limited liability warranties because things will happen. So, same thing with this metal roof. It's a limited liability warranty on that paint. You let salt sit on that painted panel for years, it's gonna oxidize. It's gonna start to eat away. Just like your car, if you let your car sit outside of it, that paint's gonna fade. It's gonna start oxidizing. The oxidizing. And so make sure you understand that if we're anywhere close, that we get seized. And again, just use it as the homeowner. I see your car sits outside, right? And you notice you got residue on your windshield in the morning, when you go out to it. Oh, absolutely. That's what's sitting up on your roof. That's no manufacturer. Warranty, you're paying for that 40 years. If I could, I would give to you, but no, here it is. Also paying. So these other guys, and again, because they don't know the product, your product. They use the same paint on every pen. Doesn't matter. You've got a galvalume panel, steel. Or if you have aluminum pen, same exact paint, right through the same line, all done the exact same way. Your big difference. Again, we've got clips. We have these clips that go on 2 screws that are in this. That's pulling down from the top of your pen. 179 warranty compared to 150. So much stronger panel the way that it goes in. So that's why we're now going into good. So the good is going to still be a steel panel, but galvalume panel. Okay. But now we're getting stronger with warranty. Yes, it's going to be more expensive because now I have thousands of these that are going on, and I'm not sure how they're going to do. So we're going up to good. All interlocks the exact same way. All of the rivets that they put on here are all stainless steel rivets. They're painted. Your difference that you have, like here's, if it's a galvanized panel, we use these clips here again but it's a galvanized steel, just like what the panel is, so you don't have a reaction to that. You have to have some like things so that you don't have issues with that panel again. Most popular panel, inch and a half snap line. Take that, print those off. You can see where it's available in steel.
We'll print those off for you guys today. You can take them with you, but you also get to it from the website.
Hey, that specific panel you were showing, that's 19 inches wide.
What's that?
The one that you just had up there, was that 19 inches or still 16?
Well, what it is, these are the max panel width. that we do. So all the panels, like we don't have aluminum, they're all going to be 15 inches wide and it's 15 inches wide steel because we pour the same midpoint.
Yeah.
I can go up to the bags.
Question. I just wanted to, summarize the whole warranty discussion that we were going through. So, no gasoline products will have a warranty on it if you're in a coastal area,
Well, what is that?
but the paint will not.
There's a substrate warranty when we're in the steep. Okay. So what that basically means is, will that panel last? No. That's why you don't get a substrate warranty on steel. Aluminum, we have a substrate on that.
Okay. Now, if I were selling this product, we're putting on a finer coating. That's still going to add a benefit. They just won't add a warranty, but it's still better than not having it, right?
Honestly, I think that
No benefit at all. Oh,
Just a step.
just a step.
because that silver panel is clear. So that's its paint. So to say. Because if it was raw out there, it would rust that down. I mean, it would literally start rusting right away. So they cleared coat that. So that just some in school, not like a paint. Then you go to the color right next to it. So then you go to the kind of color. In a steel panel, in a coastal environment,
No benefit.
you're not getting a structural warranty on that paint. The substrate because again, it rusts.
So in the island, the beginning when I had that meeting a while back, one of the things, my selling point was to my client was, hey, the difference between, 5B, Gavel and then stainless steel, and a lot of my clients are trying to push them to the Gavel just because, even though there's going to be no warranty on that, but there's going to be paint warranty. I there's at the top and there's some type. And then lower tide is just a selling point for a homeowner to know that they have some type of warranty going on, rather than thinking they have a full warranty coverage for the roof.
And that again, and like what you were just saying is one of these things. Now you're like, as you said, 5 feet of galvanum or a snake in a sea. All steel is galvanum. All of it. And so the milk finish, I mean, when I order it, it's galvanum plus. It's what it's called. The metal with a paint with a galvanum sandstone. Galvanum matte block. All steel. Galvanum. Yeah, that's one of those where.
And then usually what I tell people, like the distance, like in Sanibel, a lot of those homeowners are right next to water. So the common thing you want to tell is, yeah, it's gonna last like 10 feet, but just because you're right by the water, 1,000 feet, or whatever the area is.
The general rule of thumb that they use is 1,500. But look at the next paragraph, and it says so. Again, every manufacturer, everything has numbers because you can. That's why they're limited by it. Look at your refrigerator. Okay, your car. Perfect example. They'll kick out your car, have your motor blow up in 4 years, and see if they cover it.
That was not warranty history. Yeah, it'll cover it. No, they always find a reason to get out. There's always fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's every warranty. Otherwise, your warranty would be about 2 paragraphs long.
Right.
They're pages long.
Hey, ours are 17 pages.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Always.
And it's extended that.
So the thing is, that panel, you're left about 5 minutes. Okay. We can make that too. We can. Also, I'm steel. Galvan. Exposed fast. That's your like sheet. Then you go up to your nail 1 inch stains. A little bit more expensive. A little bit better. No exposed fast. the maintenance. Again, nobody will tell you, no salesperson will ever say that selling by the roof. Oh, you gotta do maintenance. Always tell me. The odds are you're not gonna sell that, you're gonna sell one. Because it's like, hey, in 5 years, I'm gonna come out. And one of the things, those screws, the sun comes down and it actually hits the panel, but flex back up. It will drive that seam out. Maintenance. So if you're gonna have maintenance on that, it's like Bob is saying, it costs thousands of dollars to go through and pipe or replace screws. There ain't a roof out that has an issue. I tell them that. Be honest with them. Because otherwise you're going to get a call back in a few years. Oh, my roof's leaking. I need to oh, did you call us for maintenance? Tell me about it. It's like, yeah, that's true. You're back now. Be honest, but you still might sell it.
Like, one other thing I want to tell you guys was that when I was in the island, like I sold almost 27, I think 25, 27, like metal roofs. And, my first impression to the homeowner when I go in, I say, hey, let me tell you this product, even though you like this product, there's going to be consequences later on. 5B. You know that you have a good roof right now. But later on, you're going to spend almost half of it every 5, 6 years to replace those screws. That's going to add up. Where you got setting some gapping where there was no hidden fasteners that will actually you don't have to work on. Where you don't have to maintain it like every 6 years, 7 years. You just, you're right by the water and stuff, but you don't have to have someone come in, change the screws where it's going to cost you $6,000, $8,000 to replace it. If you do that by within 30 years, you're spending double the money where, you could save.
Sell the benefits.
On this road. So you got an exposed fastener bag, and you have all those screws. And just like what you were saying, hey, your money that you're gonna spend, save right now. You're gonna spend that within the first 5 years of that maintenance. That extra money to go from that exposed fastener, you go to a standing seam, the first maintenance that they're supposed to do. That's the upgrade. Right there. It's literally the upgrade. This is an 1.75 inch panel. And the other thing is when you have an exposed fastener, they lay on top of each other. So literally, that next panel lays on top of the other one. And screws hold them down. We put this panel down. We put those splits in. They go. We just walk them out. The guys go. They walk down the road and they use rubber mallet.
So one of the other selling point is I try to give examples with my homeowner.
This is a same rip.
I try to tell them to rip it off, try to see. And then they're like, I can't do it. And I'm just like, this is how easy it is.
One of the things that I suggest all you guys to do when you sell a double wing, go out there, watch them put it on for a little bit, get a couple pieces of scrap, carry them with you. So you just got little 1 foot pieces. show this stuff. Because when I have this roof locked together, I cannot get this apart. I have a tool that I can get it apart. But we just lock that together. And again, there's clips, screws under there. I can't see. They are gonna everything has a function and traction. They're gonna move that little bit. It's gonna block.
Are you seeing these types of rings going in the Midwest area?
Yeah. The thing is with a metal roof, like up north, and I was fishing that in Kentucky 10 years after a lot of roofs on horse barns and stuff like that. That's what's published by this. That's a farm. Because you have made this job to do out there. It's not going to last. This is a residential house painting that you never have to worry about. Because again, I got nothing. I got all these clips underneath these panels, and it's all straight. And it's locked now. So that's why this panel has a much higher wind warranty. It's not going. And how all of a sudden you show it to them, and they're going to see it's like, holy crap. Yeah. Next hurricane, if this panel comes off, odds are your whole roof game up. Wood, rafters, all that. The only thing, everybody probably heard Hurricane Michael that hit up Horizon, hit 45 miles from where I live. I'm still dealing with it. 6 years ago, it hit in September. Like what they were saying, yeah, all the low hanging fruit, yeah, all that was gone. All these guys from out of town. I got a $3 million condo build that was started in February. That was from 20 stories, 4 buildings, staying in 6. That's still 6 years. What you guys saw in that was basically all of them are going to be the same rule. So you've got your nail finish, 130 miles an hour. Milk finish or paint kind. The next one you go to, which is done the same exact way, which are those two panels, are aluminum. Now, aluminum, we've done a lot of aluminum. Let's say aluminum is again, aluminum won't rust. The clips are stainless, and the screws are stainless. That's all more expensive. That is going to be your best one. Everything I do up north, anywhere, like these condos that I'm doing on the beach, all 3 tools. Legal white, most popular color, but that's going to be your best. Again, having one of those, the good, better, the best, but all manufactured the same. We put on the same, so they're all interlocked, they all connect together. The best selling that is because being that it's aluminum, now we're not worrying about this. Now you have a substrate that's going to be on it. You'll still get a coastal paint warranty, but now we have an integrity warranty. We have a substrate warranty because that's not shut. So the manufacturer, the mill, they're like, yes, we'll warranty that panel on the beach. We'll warranty that panel because the salt will not corrode it and rust. Yes, you don't get as long of a paint warranty lasts. You get a coastal paint warranty, and that's on the steel. That's going to be on your aluminum. You still get a coastal paint warranty 25 years because something's going to sit on it.
So even on the aluminum, any paint, you still only get 25.
process is done the same way.
All right, but if you're not in coastal,
If we're inland,
you're right here. You get 4-year warranty, right? Okay. All right.
yeah,
Keep in mind, if you're an aluminum roof, you have nothing to worry about. You're not going to have oxidation, any of that. Aluminum doesn't rust.
yeah. The thing is, again, everything is called to fact. If it goes to fact, what is the paint warranty? What does it cover? Your paint warranty, again, is just like a paint on the truck right there. Okay, chips. Okay, peels. Okay, crap. The dark colors do have no acceptable fade. So your red, your matte black, it's gonna fade. And every paint, like, house paint has fade good paint. It's gonna fade some. It's gonna fade. Okay. If it went excessively fading, meaning if you got like the sandstone color that's up there by the gold, and in 5 or 7 years that thing faded more than I think it was like 6 or 7%, that would because it's always supposed to fade. And some there's like paint on the outside of the bill. Kind of fades some. But the reds and the black, it's I've seen the reds turn to look, it looks like it has pink ribs. Damn, that's nasty. But your paint one, again, the paint's the same on a galvanum or if it's on aluminum, if it's coastal to 25-year paint warranty. We get in when we don't have sea spray, it's a 40-year paint. The substrate warranty. Okay. That's the rotting of the paint. Okay. Galvalume, you're not going to have a substrate warranty. They're on the island or they're 1500 and a half 5. You're not going to have it. Aluminum has a substrate warranty. So we're on the beach, it's 25 years. Over here, it's 40 years. They're guaranteed that panel's not going to deteriorate. That salt won't be able to oxidize and eat that aluminum, but you're getting a substrate warranty. So if somebody is like staying there and they're really concerned about warranty, it's like, how about this thing will last me till I die? You want that. You want this aluminum. We're using all stainless fasteners and everything on it. This thing can have rust. It's gonna last. It's gonna last me. And big was assassination. In the late line, but that's the only one in our type of environment that has a warranty. Every single manufacturer does. Our main engineer at Sheffield Metals used to be the engineer for Peterson Metal, which they're the largest producer of metal. That's where like go to ABC Supply and stuff like that. And he basically shut the warranty. You look at him and it's like, oh Lord. And so every manufacturer has it. Pull out an Owens Corning warranty, pull out a GAF. I can mix up a little bit here. All the exact same. And you want to make sure, again, you explain this to homeowners, because too many other guys aren't going to be the ones that, oh, yeah, no. Look, right here, it says higher 40-year paint warranty. Show the fine. Why this is comes. If you don't have, you're gonna still get it. There's coastal paint warranty. So that's make sure you explain that to homeowners.
It's also in our contract.
Too many guys, and that's a way to discredit somebody else. Basically, lie to because they don't know what right. They don't know what it is. They're actually selling that home. The aluminum or the galvalume, it should happen. It's on this profile. It's all the same exact way. It's done like that. It's interlocking on there. We do our panels, everything we do is a 15-inch one. And part of it's for cost because I order the same size holes as one. So the machine we don't have to readjust, quality controls a little bit about that one. We just order all the same. We get into a commercial job and it's an engineer involved, we might have to make that variation. I've got a big job that starting in this month that I had to order 22 inch for it. Because they want it's an inch and 3/4 and they want 16 inch band. That's what the engineer spec. And if you look, Hal notes that you see that how it's engineered, and it says this panel uses a 5 1/8 inch of material. So that's why I've got 20-inch foil. It bends, does all its thing. That's where it comes out. It takes 5 1/8 inch off. Center to center when it's done is 15.
including the striations as well. Is that factored?
Who's these jobs? Who was the one that you did where the homeowner wanted flat? They didn't want to try.
Red. Oil canning.
If you guys ever would take a piece of metal, which I had this like a flat line. Hey, I don't know. It's classic. Same much the same thing goes around. They have one bend. If this thing was laying flat without that bend, I mean, it'd be hard for me to carry anything, but it's not flat all over the place. All of these panels on here have striation and all the things. That's why when you see a bite of these fruits, that they'll make seasick. I don't pop every single solitary infection I'm having root that could possibly get. There's no striations. Try not to sell a standing seam root without striations. Because it will oil. Again, the same. I put a band in a piece of metal shit. So on these panels right here, you can see those little layers. Those are striation, those rollers that are on the machine. So when it comes out, it's putting those little striations in it to strengthen the panel. So there's a little dip in the plywood and it go over top of it. It won't fall because it's strong. It's basically. We had the job over, you know, they one black hand, and you don't get out something in the contracts now that talk about
Oil canning. Yep. Anything 5B or anything flat, we cover oil canning. It can happen, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Sheffield has a good disclaimer too on oil canning that explains what it is and what causes it.
I saw them where older buildings that's what they're like. No, we want the panels flat. We don't want striation on it. Hey, that's fine. You're signing off on it. Because I actually did a separate addendum to make sure because that roof is going to make you seasick.
When you say oil canning, it looks like waves and ripples in the panel. And it looks like an oil can just rolled across it.
Just, you know, piece of metal. Take a 1x1 piece of metal. You can move it all around like that. Put striations in it. It's stupid. And again, it will not follow what in your country. Look at shingle rings. And you can see waves. You can see imperfection. There's a lot of times it's called transferring, where you see it's like the plywood seams in a roof, especially if it's got really long rafters on it. You can see, oh, there's a seam, there's a seam here, there's a seam here. That transfers through them. You're basically getting the same thing on metal. It's another transfer. If you don't put those gyrations, so we want to stiffen that metal. That's one of your big reasons for a staining seam. The way those things are, strengthens it. It locks it together. Okay, you have the striations that take away imperfections. But the biggest thing, again, anytime you take a piece of metal and put a finger in it, so if you can get a homeowner that you find, wow, I like the way my neighbor here walks out, like, hey, we can do that. We will not warranty that against point Peter. That's what it's called. Point Peter. It's going to do it's impossible not it's not damn thing you can do. You still get fake warranty in some. It's just going to look like that. So striations are big. I just tell the homeowners, this is what we're doing. Get these, this is what the panel get, kind of little samples so they see it.
To add on to Brian with what he's saying with not selling a flat roof like that, also matte black. That sea spray, like we were talking about, that just sits on the roof. It's very noticeable. It's like you ever have a black car, you clean it, sits out, then like 3 hours, it's covered in pollen. Same principle with that color of roof. We can sell them, but make sure let the homeowner know that, hey, this is not going to look this pristine and matte black forever because it's going to get coated with that sea spray.
Any of those dark colors, they look great. But with our atmospheric conditions and the way things are, and you can use the allergies as much as possible. There's a lot of homeowners won't understand that. That's where I use the car thing. One of the best things that like people with ventilation that don't have ventilation. And again, that's every manufacturer. So you're going up against somebody, oh, we're getting a lifetime warranty shingle roof. They say, we got a 50-year, 100% coverage warranty. Okay. Dude, you're getting increased ventilation. They added that to the roof. We got 2 boxes. It's like, we won't have any more. Oh, no, man. Yeah, show people the warrant. Everyone's the warrant. Same. Inadequate added. Always warranty that shit. Although it's good. 2-story home. And again, whether now you have no issues for people, is it's a lot hotter than walk upstairs. Every single person, oh my God, it's so much hotter. All that hotter is trapped up there. That's why the ridge vent system is the best. With our standing seam roofs, the only thing. We'll put this up. Again, hot air rise, natural fishing. Highest point, hot air rise is open data. It'll naturally dissolve. We get that excessive hot air out. That's why you look at your shingle warranty, and it has that inadequate ventilation. Again, what your competitors doing, you could, and I've asked people like, let me see their estimate, cover the price. I don't care. What are you getting for? Don't even worry about the price. You start telling the benefits of what we're selling. They're going to go with you because you know your product. You know what you're putting out. We're giving them a better product for it. And you figure out what they're really getting with us compared to somebody else. We're giving them a better product. Going up to a standing single. Again, you got good You've got a 1-inch nail, better than any shingle roof you can put out. It's going to last longer. Same thing warranty as GAN roofs, but it's a better product because it will withstand more. It withstands the wind and everything better than the rain and you don't have to worry about flapping. Then we go to a better, go up to an 1.5 inch snap one with the clips all hitting us on there. This is going to be aluminum because you get substrate warranty on it. It's not going to rust. Never going to have to do anything with that. It's going to last months. And explain to them, hey, you see those 20-story condo buildings on the beach? That's aluminum shades. So how that roof is made through the hurricane. It's the only thing that will make it through the hurricane. Like the one that we're doing for 6 years ago, didn't blow a single panel off of it up there. Windhorn debris. Debris from other buildings blow around, puncture panels, tailor panels. That's usually what ends up happening.
So what makes it from what changes it from best to better? What was that?
From what?
What from best to better? You mentioned
Good,
something
better,
like the
best.
size.
So when your best is aluminum, it's all the same. It's an 1.5 inch. We went from a galvanized clip to a stainless clip. Not there. So it doesn't. So you look at it, the profile. I mean, I could set the two panels side by side of the same exact color. I can't tell the difference on it. Because literally, you look at it, striations, it's all the same. Same paint. Everything's the same. One's aluminum, one's steel. Steel's got a lot of steel. No, it's aluminum, steel. So that's where the best ones. Again, you might have even inlet. You might have 40-year paint warranty on that pan. So nervous. Nothing you do about it. It's the beat. It will rust. I mean, the only way you'll notice it on a milk or outside. But I mean, if I didn't live here, if I lived, in Atlanta or whatever, it looks good all day long. Not worry about it again. It'd be absolutely. And like I said, it's got the same, wind warranty too. It's a good product. I'm not paying steel is not a bad product at all. There's just one step up the line. That's bad. And what you're paying for when you roast that aluminum again. Not worry about edges rusting. And that again, giant old coil comes out, there's a shit cuts it, so on. So that edges form, everything's locked together, but you have to lock edges. That's just from the manufacturing process. You order it from ABC Supply or anybody like that, it comes in crates, same exact thing. They're just making them at factory. We're custom made to the exact number of specifications that we need for them. So that's why the aluminum, again, going to best. I got very best it's going to look better. This one, it's going to have to do. You have two houses side by side, steel one in regal white, aluminum one in regal white, and you're a mile, in the or whatever like that. You'll notice rust on this stuff. Same high wind warranty and everything on it. Same paint warranty on one of those bus guys. So that's why that's the best one.
Fun fact, Brian mentioned Kynar paint. Just so you guys know, Sherwin-Williams is the manufacturer and designer of that paint. So we have access to that as well as getting it from Sheffield if we need. So you guys have that. We can get that local.
It's actually a registered trademark. And they paint for other manufacturers. They've been doing it longer than anybody. And they've been painting metal for longer. There's a couple other companies out there that do it also. And I can't remember what the most common around here is kind because there's actually one plant here in Florida and there's one in Georgia that paints it. One of the other nice things that's going to be coming down the road here a little bit after the first of the year was supposed to be this month, but Shamrock is expanding to Florida. Meaning we're going to have a warehouse here.
Which means lead time turnaround is quicker.
Yeah. So we'll be able to get something quicker than currently. And right now, I mean, our average lead time is 2 weeks.
Which is still pretty good.
Oh, yeah. So
That's-
ABC
is that for that?
purchases from
Yeah,
Shamrock.
of course, right?
That's for the coil.
They don't.
Sheffield does
Yeah,
not.
they just coil down.
Okay,
And then we have a fabricator
So,
show up on site,
That's the thing.
roll that out. They do all the trim
Certified
pieces in house, and then they bring
Now,
trim
a lot of
pieces.
people that are certified. In the whole state of Florida, they only have
So cut your feet on site about
14.
They'll roll it on site in a day or two.
Okay.
They'll roll out the whole
Got that machine.
roof right there.
It's got to be to their specs. We got to get
Got
it
some
approved.
pictures.
That's how, we have the Florida, product approval and everything like that.
And we're cutting it ourselves. We're cutting it. We're making it ourselves.
Yeah. No, that's what I have all the certifications for everything. And so I'm the license holder, so that's how I got it. So I cut the here. So goes with it. But that's the thing. That's why we can reshut the back. So ABC Supply. Yeah. A roofer goes in ABC Supply on a standing seam roof, 123 Main Street. Here's the Eagle View and stuff. They'll order you the material and everything like that. It's going to come in crates. One, you will not get a panel shorter than 6 feet. None manufacturers do. They have basically my machine stand where ours is on our train when we take the house. They're making panels right there. They crate them up. They don't want to have small panels because it takes longer. Blah, blah, blah. Literally, I can use a panel 2 inches long off that machine. So when I calculate and I get that Eagle View and I'm calculating, material for that job, I know that I have a smaller waste factor. I don't need to, do a 20% waste factor on it because I'm not have so many extra cuts right there. So you got all these long. I know I'm coming down my hip. All I'm doing is getting an electronic time. I have on that little angle. Look on the waste factor. There's not a lot of waste factor. The other nice thing is, some of you guys probably have been out to the job site or that, but the crew guys that are doing our metal, some of gal my business partner that he's from up north. You got 2 crews down here. We had 4, but 2 of them are up north. 2 of them are up there. They know the problem. They know what the insurance is. The gal and the other guys, great what their work on readings. And everybody is you don't have problems when Miguel Tippy. Yeah, okay. That's what I said. Miguel said, yeah. And like I say, because Miguel and I have been working together for years. So he knows how to put this stuff on. Great. I can not be out. So right now, you sell the homeowner, you guys sign somebody up. I mean, we're getting into the holidays, but there's no reason that group can't get started within, what schedule. Guys can't hear some fun. Now, I can have material down here in 2 weeks. And get it on, get it fabricated, and get it moved on.
Last year, did you guys have